Hello and welcome. In the online lecture series of mechanical engineering core semester, we will be having a subjects to the materials. That four lectures we have already done with. Now it's the fifth lecture where we will be discussing Mohr circle. In the last lecture, we have discussed the Mohr circle and also solved a problem on Mohr circle. This time, we are going to take more problems on the Mohr circle, and then we will be able to then we will be able to take any problem on Mohr circle. So, okay, so let me go to the page where we are having this Mohr circle problem. So yes. Okay. Now it's your screen on your screen. So yesterday we discussed about the Mohr circle, its construction, and what does basically it give. So again, we'll be working more on Mohr circle, and we'll be solving more problems on Mohr circle, so that we are well acquainted with the problem, well acquainted with the Mohr circle. So in the last lecture, I told you that first of all you have to draw a body like this. If a body, explanation of this is, if a body is under tensile stresses sigma x and sigma y. Sigma x is tensile stress in x direction and sigma y in the y direction. So sigma x in positive x direction, sigma x positive direction. This body is under tensile stresses. Similarly, sigma y is acting along y axis and sigma y in negative y directions. So we are having sigma x and sigma y. So when we have to draw the Mohr circle, what we'll do, we'll introduce a system of coordinates, that is normal system x and y. We'll draw two lines x and y. Origin is given at O, where these two y lines x and y meet, and right side by the arrow will represent x axis, and similarly will axis will represent in the positive y direction by an arrow y. So sigma x and sigma y now will be taken on horizontal x axis. So first of all, we'll take sigma x. Sigma x we'll draw. Sigma x is given. Actually, sigma x is stress. So it is drawn in equivalent length unit, because sigma x is stress. So it will be given in meganewton per meter square, or a quantity like that. So we have to convert this quantity into a uh, convenient scale. So if we take 1 meganewton per meter square, it is equal to 1 centimeter, will be able to draw a line to represent the tensile stresses sigma x and sigma y on the Mohr circle. So yesterday, as I discussed, we will take sigma x equivalent to its equivalent to dimension. So if sigma x is given 70 meganewton per meter square, we'll take 70 centimeters or 7 centimeters. 70 centimeters will be too much, so we'll take 70 meganewton per meter square as 70 mm or 7 centimeter. So we will be assuming that 1 millimeter is representing 1 meganewton per meter square. So we'll draw a line sigma x in the horizontal direction. So we have already drawn a line uh, OX. So we'll be taking dimension sigma OX. So this is sigma OX from the the origin. So sigma X 70 mm or 7 mm is taken. Then we know sigma Y. Sigma Y, if sigma Y is given 30 meganewton per meter square, so we'll be taking 30 mm or 3 centimeter. So we'll be taking 30 centimeter from here to here. So this will be 30 centimeter, and now we have found two directions. We have found two points. We have found 2 points that are the sigma x and sigma y. So these are the two extremes or 2 points on the diameter of this small circle. So we will be finding sigma. We will be finding center point. Center point will be given as sigma x plus sigma y by 2 or sigma x minus sigma y by 2. This is taken from sigma x plus sigma y by 2 from here to here. And if we are taking sigma x minus sigma y by 2, this will be from here to here. This way we will find the center. Once we have found the center, we will draw a circle by taking radius equal to n into u this point or n into v, both are equal. So we'll be drawing a circle. Once we draw a circle, this circle is like this. This is the Mohr circle. So once we have drawn like this, we'll be taking shear stress or the inclination of the plane. So if inclination is given theta, we'll take 2 theta from the horizontal and we'll draw a line from here to here. So this line SMN, this line SNT, this line SNT will be representing the oblique plane. So line SNT is at an angle of 2 theta because here it is taken as theta. So when this line SNT is taken, so we'll drop perpendicular. We'll drop from S2. We'll drop from S to the horizontal line. So this way we'll find this perpendicular SM, and SM will tell how much shear stress SM is basically shear stress that we have earlier discussed. This is the method that we have earlier discussed. LT is equal to MS. This is LT is equal to MS. That is, this is SM, MS or LT. This is tau XY. This is shear stress that we have already discussed. So again, we will be taking some solved example to be well sail through the Mohr circle. So okay, so this is the basically you can see we have found sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus r. So these are the analytical relationship. So analytical relationship we have found. So once we have found analytical relationship, we will be able to solve the problem. Okay, so now we'll be solving problem where we have a circular bar of 100 kilonewton axial pull, and if the maximum intensity of shear stress on an oblique plane is not to exceed 60 meganewton per meter square, determine the diameter of the bar. We have a circular bar under axial pull of 100 kilonewton, that is P is given 100 kilonewton, and nature is given as tensile. So P equals 100 kilonewton, and the shear stress sigma max is given as 60 meganewton per meter square. So only two things are given. Circular bar is given, and we have to find the diameter of the bar. So we will be finding, we know that area is pi by 4 into d square. So a cross sectional area is not known to us. That is being asked, diameter is being asked. So we will finding area pi by 4 into d square. Shear stress, we know maximum shear stress is axial pull divided by twice of the area. So this is the maximum shear stress tau max. So P we know 100, and we'll be putting tau max 60 equals P by 2 into pi by 4 d square. This way we'll be finding D. So D is coming 0.0326. Substituting the values, we'll be finding D. So simple. So D will be 32.6 millimeter. Answer. So this was very simple problem. Just substituting the value. Now we'll be taking another value that is more complicated, slightly less complicated than this problem. So in this problem, we have a short metallic column of 500 millimeter cross-sectional area. In this problem, the cross-sectional area is given, and a compressive load, axial compressive load of 100 kilonewton is given, and the plane is inclined at 60 degree with the direction of load. And these parameters, normal, tangential, resultant, maximum shear and obliquity, maximum shear stress, these are the four types of stresses that we have determined. At the same time, we have to find the obliquity of the resultant stress. So first of all, we'll calculate the cross-sectional area of the cross-sectional area that is given 500 millimeter per square. We'll convert this into meter square, so we have to multiply 10 power minus 6, and this way we'll find area LM in meter square. Then we have to find the inclined area, that is at an angle of 60 degree. So this will take ALM by cos 30. ALM we are already known. Cos 30 I have taken. I will be explaining a little later. So ALM. So this way cross sectional area AMN is also coming. Uh, Now come to the axial forces. We are having 100 kilonewton axial forces. Normal force Pn is not given, that we have to determine. Pt tangential force also determine. So now come to the figure. So you will find this is the figure. This is 100 kilonewton is acting compressive force that is acting on face LM. So this is the face LM and this is face LN. So we have to find the tangential force along a face that is inclined at 60 degree from the horizontal and 30 degree from the 60 degree from the vertical and 30 degree from the horizontal. I told I have taken this ALM divided by cos 30. So this was the purpose. This was the reason. That's why I have taken 30 degree rather than 60, because 60, you see, 60 degree is given 60 degree with the direction of load, and direction of load is vertical. So the vertical direction of load is 60 degree. So our direction from the horizontal is 30 degree. Now we have taken this plane, that is plane MN, and we know the forces, the stress, the force that is acting along this face MN will be tangential force, and there will be another force that is acting inclined, so that is acting normal to this face MN is PN. So this force will be having two types of forces, PT tangential force and normal force, and ultimately this will result in two different types of stresses, that is normal stress and tangential stress. So PT and PN is given. Again, the P is going downwards. Why this is taken? Because at this point you can see exterior of the body, you can see the another compressive force is acting at this point. So this is coming inside and this is coming inside. But we have drawn free body diagram and we have removed lower portion. So we will be showing only the upper portion, and in upper portion the material is coming. The compressive force is coming from here to here in this direction. So this will be coming downwards direction. That's why we have taken P. Okay, now we have taken the direction of P compressive. Why we have taken? This is so simple, because if you see the compressive force and force, tangential force uh, will result in a force that is acting inside this direction, otherwise this will act in this direction, and this is not balanced by anyone. So this must be compressive nature. So for making this compressive nature, this we have to make the normal force coming into the face MN. So now calculating. First, we calculate normal force Pn. Normal force is P cos 30 degree, because this is the normal. P is coming downwards and Pn is coming like this. So P cos 30. So P cos 30 is 86.6 kilonewton. This way Pt is coming. Pt is P into sin 30, 102.5. So normal stress sigma n is equal to Pn by Mn. So this will find normal stress. So once we have found the normal stress, Pn by A into Mn, A into Mn, Amn by we have already calculated. the area of the face Mn we have already calculated. So substituting this value, we'll be finding normal stress. Then when we have found the area of Mn face, then we can calculate tangential stress. Tangential stress tau is given as Pt by Am into Mn. So this is again calculated. Resultant stresses. Squaring and adding and taking square root will give us the resultant stress sigma r. So this way we'll find sigma r. So maximum shear stress, as we know, is half of the normal stress. So this is P by A into Lmn. P we have already known, 100 into 1000 P mega Newton. So to convert this into meter, this this is again 2 into 5 into 6 to the power minus 6. So 100 by 100 meganewton by meter square. So this is taken. So now coming to the obliquity of the resultant stress. Obliquity, as you know, tan phi is given as shear stress divided by normal stress. So this is 86.6 divided by 150. That is shear stress, again normal stress. So this will give us phi as 30 degree. So angle of inclination is given. We will be taking another example in which this prismatic bar we have taken, and this prismatic bar is not given any dimension, only the prismatic bar is given. So in prismatic bar, a tensile stress sigma x is acting in negative x direction of 90 meganewton per meter square, whereas 30 meganewton per square is a shear stress. That is, sorry, sigma x is not given. We have taken in prismatic bar, and in prismatic bar a phase Lm at an angle of theta is given. So when phase Lm is given, there are two stresses acting. One is normal to this plane, normal to this face, another tangential to this face. So normal to this face sigma n is acting here, and tangential is acting sigma tau acting downwards. So these are the two stresses that are acting along the face Lm. So what we'll have to do, first of all, we have to balance. We are given sigma n, tau, and sigma x. So sigma x is tensile stress. So we'll be taking this point as a reference point, and we'll resolve stresses, and we'll multiply the faces along which we are working. First of all, we'll take normal stress sigma n. So if we see sigma n multiplied by Lm will make force, tensile force, that is acting normal to the face, because the stress multiplied by area is force. So tensile force is sigma n into Lm acting normal to this plane. Now we have this sigma x. So we have to take the component that will neutralize the sigma n. So sigma n is acting in this direction, and this will be acting downwards direction opposite to sigma n. So this is taken as sigma x cos 90 minus theta. I have taken, because this is this line. If we find, so this angle will be 90 minus theta from the horizontal. So 90 minus theta into Lm. Lm is the face. Again, we have to make the force. So we have to multiply with the face. So we have to multiply the area. So this way we'll find sigma n into Lm, sigma x into cos 90 minus theta. And cancelling out Lm from both the sides, we'll find sigma n is equal to sigma x sin theta. Similarly, we have to balance the tangential force. Tangential force is tau into Lm. Tau is the stress, tangential stress, that is acting along the face Lm. When multiplied by area of face Lm, this will give us the force. So tau multiplied by Lm, and there will be a force sigma x alongside there will be a component of sigma x that is working on alongside the inclined plane LM that will basically neutralize tau. So tau LM is equal to sigma x cos theta into LM, because earlier we have taken we know that this angle is also theta. So this will be working in this direction, sigma x cos theta opposite to the tau. So this way we will find sigma n normal stress is given and shear stress given. Substituting these value, we are having two components. Uh, we are having sigma x and theta, two unknowns, and we are at the same time we are having two equations, so we can solve sine theta. So we will be solving in terms of sine theta and cos theta, and this will give us the value of sigma x. That is basically squaring and adding these two will give us sigma x square sine square theta plus sigma x square cos theta. Left hand side is sigma n square plus tau square. Right side will take sigma x as common, and sine square theta plus cos square theta will make 1. So substituting value of sigma and tau, and then again taking square root, we will be finding the value of sigma x. Sigma x is coming out 94.87. So this is the value of sigma x. We know that the tan theta, angle of inclination of the plane, will be sigma n by tau. Normal stress divided by tangential stress. So 90 by 30 is 3. So tan theta is equal to 3. So this way theta is coming 71 degree, 30, 71 degree and 33 minutes. So this was the concept how we proceed and solve with the help of analytical method. So similarly, we'll be solving more problems and with the analytical method. So these are the same. Is the same basic concept. If basic concept is clear, no problem. We will be finding normal stresses, shear stresses. You can put the value directly into the formula and you will find sigma normal stress. This is the same problem. This is almost the same problem that we have earlier solved. Principal stresses. This is the wall container, and 40 meganewton per meter square and 80 meganewton per meter square determine the normal shear and resultant stresses in magnitude and direction in the plane. The normal of the plane theta is given as 30 degree. You can find theta is given as 30 degree, and this way 40, 80. So resolving the forces along the plane and perpendicular to the plane will give us the resultant normal stress, shear stress, and normal stress, shear stress, and resultant stresses. So, and we'll take another problem. This is also similar problem. So there you have to put the values and get the results and take fill this way. You have to solve all these problems. This is given all your notes. This is from R.K. Rajput, book from R.K. Rajput. So take another problem for where we this problem. This way we have solved this problem analytically as well as through Mohr circle. So this is the Mohr circle that we have to find. So in the last problem, while we were discussing about the Mohr circle, construction of the Mohr circle, I told that we have to take sigma x and sigma y both in positive x direction. But if one sigma x and sigma y both are given in both are given as tensile, you have to take tensile, and if one is this is the you can see both are taken from here. Sigma y is this and sigma x is the this. So you find the 2 points, extreme 2 points of the Mohr circle, M and L, and then you will find the center. This way you can find sigma x minus sigma y by 2 or sigma x plus sigma y by 2, sigma x plus sigma y by 2 from here to here, and sigma x minus sigma y by 2 from here to here. So when you have found the center, you will draw a circle, and when you draw a circle, draw this plane at an angle of 2 theta. From the center point, you will draw a line 2 theta, and when this line touches the diameter, draw a perpendicular from P on the line, horizontal line or x-axis. You will find PQ. This PQ is basically tau. Measure this PQ, and you will find shear stress tau. Okay. So you will, when you will find, when you will measure OP, this OP will give you resultant stress. This is given as sigma n OP. OP is 71.5 resultant stress. So this is the Mohr circle diagram. So take another problem, solve this problem, and other problems that you have. This is slightly complicated problem. Here you have to take sigma x in the, sigma x is given as tensile, but sigma y is given compressive. So what we have to do, we have to reverse the direction of sigma y. Only thing is that we have to reverse the direction of sigma y. Earlier we used to take sigma x in this direction, sigma y in this direction, but in this direction we have to say take sigma y in this direction. So O is the, this is, you can see here sigma x is, this is sigma x is 100 Newton Newton per meter square, and sigma y is 60, that is taken opposite direction. So we have, again we have found two extremes of the circle. So we'll find circle. So you can find the circle dividing by, from L to M. You have to find, you divide the LM distance by 2. You will find point N. From point N, draw a line at an angle of 2 theta, and this will touch at P. Draw perpendicular from P, and you will find Q. So measure the PQ, and when you measure the PQ, you'll find tangential stress. This is 78.8 meganewton per meter square. And from here to here, you will find maximum shear stress. This maximum shear stress is out from this point to this point. This is maximum shear stress. You can measure from this point to this point. This will give you tau max, and then you will find again. So this will solve your problems through Mohr circle. Do a few problems by application of analytical method, and then apply Mohr circle. So, and if problems arises, you can get in touch with me on my phone numbers. As I already told, my phone number is 9069360400. Okay, so bye for the time being. We'll be talking, we'll be addressing next time.